music is ancient, but even though these scales are ancient, they're used in all kinds of music today, including folk, pop, classical, and jazz. Modes can add an exotic and unique flavor to any piece of music. The Greeks gave them their names, so they're a little bit difficult to memorize, but I've got a little trick for that. To learn them, start by memorizing the order of modes using this. I don't punch like Muhammad Ali. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. Once you have this order memorized, you can relate them to a major scale. So in this key signature, no sharps and no flats, C is Ionian, D is Dorian, E is Phrygian, and so on. The first mode is Ionian, and it's exactly the same as a C major scale. C Ionian and C major are the same. The second mode is Dorian. Notice that we're not using the key signature of D major. We are starting and ending on D, but we're using the key signature of C, and this is what makes this scale D Dorian. Here's an example of E Phrygian. Phrygian is the third mode. F Lydian. You might notice with that Lydian scale, the only difference between F Lydian and F major is F major includes a B flat. F Lydian, because we're using the key of C, does not include a B flat. Here's G Mixolydian. A Aeolian. And finally, B Locrian. Now this same principle will work in any key signature. So let's apply it to the key of D. The key of D has two sharps, and these two sharps will be applied to each mode. Let's start by laying down 2 octaves of a D major scale. And now we can apply our order of modes to the key of D major. D major is the same as D Ionian, since Ionian is the very first mode we use. Now if I just move that little blue box up 1 step, we'll create E Dorian. And next is F sharp Phrygian. Then G Lydian. I'm going to pause for just a minute and mention something. You might notice I'm saying G Lydian, not D Lydian. We are using the key signature that we think of as D major, 2 sharps. But since home, or the first note of the scale, or in some cases the first note of the song, or the last note of the song, is G, we have to call this scale G Lydian. Let me go on. We'll do A Mixolydian. And then B Aeolian. Now you might remember from our relative major and minor scales that D major and B minor are relative keys. So this B Aeolian, because we're using 2 sharps but we're starting on B, B Aeolian is the same as B natural minor. If you don't remember some of that, you might want to check out the key signatures section 5 that talks about relative major and minor keys. In any case, here's C sharp Locrian. And then finally, if we go up another step, we get D Ionian one more time. So here's our way of remembering the order. Once again, we use I don't punch like Muhammad Ali, and that helps us remember the order of modes, which is Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. You can practice identifying these modes by ear in Music Theory Pro.